Welcome to the 2013 Oscars, hosted by Miss Moylan, who you may know from the junior English class, American Writers. I'm Claire Goritomo, and you're joining me here on the red carpet. There are a lot of exciting movies being up for the movie of the year, such as The Great Gatsby, The Crucible, and Their Eyes Were Watching God, but my personal favorite, The Scarlet Letter. In case you haven't heard, this film is based off of the novel by Nathaniel Hawthorne, and it is about the flaws and paradoxes of Puritan society. The main protagonists are Hester Prynne, a woman caught in adultery and forced to wear a scarlet A on her breast and undergo public shame. Her fellow lover is the revered Reverend Arthur Dimmesdale, and from their passionate affair is born Pearl, the daughter of Hester. Look, here comes the stars of the movie, The Scarlet Letter. Renata, you look lovely this evening.
Thank you.
Some of our viewers sent in some questions for you. Cassie Tack of Gaithersburg, Maryland asks, Renata, how did you prepare for the role of Hester Prynne?
Well, Cassie, it wasn't easy. I read through the book a lot to really try to connect to Hester. She's a very complex character. She believed herself to be a widow after being in New England for 2 years without seeing or hearing from her husband, Roger Chillingworth, and raising Pearl, the result of her sin. The author, Nathaniel Hawthorne, even describes her as being a red rosebush, which is meant to signify her beauty and fragility among the suffocating Puritan society. She is a beautiful, strong, and vibrant character. I think there's a little bit of Hester in all of us. We all feel misunderstood and judged when we are anything but different from what society expects of us.
Well, enjoy yourself tonight.
Thank you.
Hey, Becca, you look lovely tonight.
Thank you.
So, how did you prepare for the role of Pearl?
Pearl is definitely a mysterious character in this novel. She has grown up in Puritan society and that has learned to hate her and ignore her like her mother. She, like everyone else, has a bit of good and evil inside of her. Something that Hawthorne touches on is, do we choose evil or is it within us? Pearl is an excellent example of that. She has a way with nature and animals that would make her seem like she is good, but then she'll do something forcing to her mother, like wearing the A, which makes her seem evil. She is an outcast because she was born into a society that doesn't understand her. Personally, I think Pearl was born evil to keep her mother on track and know her future. Hester can't live in two worlds, and she must choose.
Thank you, that was very interesting.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Lindsay.
Hey.
How did you prepare for the role of Dimmesdale?
Dimmesdale was pretty tricky. According to Hawthorne, he and Hester had a very passionate and loving relationship, out of which Pearl was conceived. And after that, he just pretends like he doesn't even know Hester, and he starts out the book as a very handsome and young man, and later to become really old and feeble. And he holds his secret of being Pearl's father in as if his life depends on it, and it literally begins to eat him up inside. His emotional trauma begins to affect him physically, but he still won't admit to being the father. As his physical and self-appearance begins to become feeble and old, the town just starts to love him more and more because they think he's great. They think he's someone to look up to. And out of all of the characters, I believe that Dimmesdale has the most internal conflict. Should he admit to being the father, even if it means the town will isolate him like they have Hester and Pearl? Or should he keep the secret of being the father and let it literally take the life out of him? It really brings to question one of the main themes of the novel, which is, do you prefer internal struggle or public humiliation, which Hester wasn't given the option to choose from, but Dimmesdale is choosing personal internal struggle, and you'll have to see the movie to find out what happens next.
Never thought about it that way. I don't know which one I would prefer, and I hope you have a good night.
Thank you.
Throughout the night, we have shown you the 4 nominees for the Best Motion Picture Film of the Year. Now, here is the winner of the Best Motion Picture Film. And the winner is The Scarlet Letter. And now we are going to show you a clip from the winning movie.
both love her dearly. Dost thou not think her beautiful? And see with what natural skill she has made those simple flowers adorn her. Had she gathered pearls and diamonds and rubies in the wood, they could have not become her better. She is a splendid child, but I know whose brow she has.
Dost thou know, Hester, that this dear child tripping about always at thy side hath caused me many an alarm? Methought, O Hester, what the thought is that, and how terrible to dread it, that my own features were partly repeated on her face, and so strikingly that the world might see them, but she is mostly thine.
No, no, not mostly. A little longer, and thou needst not to be afraid to trace whose child she is. But how strangely beautiful she looks with those wild flowers in her hair. It is as if one of the fairies whom we left in our dear old England had decked her out to meet us.
Thou canst not think how my heart dreads this interview, but yearns for it. But in truth, as I already told thee, children are not readily won to be familiar with me. They will not climb my knee, nor prattle in my ear, nor answer to my smile, but stand apart and eye me strangely. Even little babies, when I take them in my arms, weep bitterly. Yet Pearl, twice in her lifetime, hath been kind to me. The first time, thou knowest it well. The last was when thou ledst her with thee to the house of yonder stern old governor.
And thou didst plead so bravely on her behalf and mine. I remember it, and so shall little Pearl. Fear nothing. She may be strange and shy at first, but will soon learn to love thee.
Pray, hasten her, for this delay has already imparted a tremor to my nerves.
Come, dearest child, how slow thou art! When hast thou been so sluggish before now? Here is a friend of mine, who must be thy friend also. Thou wilt have twice as much love henceforward as thy mother alone could give thee. Leap across the brook and come to us. Thou can leapst like a young deer.
Hasten, Pearl, or I shall be angry with thee. Leap across the brook, naughty child, and run hither, else I must come to thee.
Have a strange fancy that this brook is the boundary between two worlds, and that thou canst never meet thy Pearl again. Or is she an elfish spirit, who, as the legends of our childhood has taught us, is forbidden to cross a running stream? I pray you, if thou hast any means of pacifying the child, do it forthwith. Save it were the cankered wrath of an old witch, like Mistress Hibbins. I know nothing that I would not sooner encounter than this passion in a child. In Pearl's young beauty, as in the wrinkled witch, it has a preternatural effect. Pacify her if thou lovest me.
Pearl, look down at thy feet, there, before thee, on the hither side of the brook. Bring it hither.
Come thou and take it up.
Was ever such a child? Oh, I have much to tell thee about her. But in very truth she is right as regards this hateful token. I must bear this torture yet a little longer, only a few days longer, until we shall have left this region and look back hither as to a land which we have dreamed of. The forest cannot hide it. The mid-ocean shall take it from my hand and swallow it up forever. Now that she has put upon her shame, now that she is sad.
Yes, now I will. Now thou art my mother, and I am thy Pearl.
That was not kind. When thou hast shown me a little love, thou mockest me.
Why doth thou minister sit yonder?
He waits to welcome thee. Come thou, and entreat his blessing. He loves thee, my little pearl, and loves thy mother too.
Does he love us? Will he go back with us?
Not now, dear child, but in days to come he will walk hand in hand with us. We will have a home and fireside of our own, and thou shalt sit upon his knee, and he will teach thee many things, and love thee dearly. Thou wilt love him, and thou not?
And will he keep his hand over his heart?
Child, what a question is that? Come and ask his blessing.
That was so exciting.
Congratulations, this must be a memorable moment for you all, but tell me, how do you think this clip ties into the rest of the movie?
Well, in my opinion, this scene is where Hester comes to terms with her fate and realizes that she could not live with a foot in both worlds. Hester chooses Pearl and crosses the brook to retrieve the Scarlet Letter. The brook signifies the sort of barrier between both worlds, the one that Pearl is on and the one that Dimmesdale is on, and she chooses to be on the side with Pearl.
Why do you think that this film would be different? Do you think this film would be different if this scene was not in it?
Well, I think that it's really a turning point in the movie where Hester really chooses what she wants, and that's Pearl. Pearl really freaks out when she sees that her mother is not wearing the letter on her chest because it's all that she's familiar with and it's all that she knows her mother to be wearing. And so to her it seems like it's not really her mom, it's her mom on the other side of the brook.
Okay, well, I hope you guys had a great night.
night.
Congratulations to the Scarlet Letter. Well, there you have it, folks. The winner for the Best Motion Picture of the 2012 Oscar Awards. Thanks for tuning in. Explain.
What?
Okay, just kidding. Okay, she just did. Okay. I mean, but like, do you want me to say the part about like Cassie from Gaithersburg wants to know?
You include Cassie.
I mean, I feel weird including Cassie. I'm just saying.
Include Cassie.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Well, she has to start, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Hold on, I have a wedgie.
I'm sorry.
Can you just read the script?
What did you say?
Okay, Channing doesn't need to be here.
No, okay,
Yes, he does.
Chucking that out of the way.
Why would you hit?
I'm sorry, Channing.
He's very
don't touch
delicate.
him.
I'm sorry.
Oh, just
Sorry.
not touch him. Okay. And will he keep his hand over his heart? I feel like
Alright, do you have her feet in the picture? Okay, because she's not wearing shoes, and I didn't want her to be like a shoeless reporter a little.
It's my nervous energy rubbing off on you.
Well, it needs to stop.
Her like fragile like beauty and like how she's like beauty and like amidst all this like ugliness.
Okay.
I might just lock the door.
Mom, they give me an option. Either to go outside.
Practice shooting.
She won't let me come in.
No.
Well, he has to stay inside or outside because I don't want the door slamming a lot, you know?
I will let you come in when it's time.
Can you lock the door? Thank you.
Joey, you're in the shot. Cut. Right now. Cut.